I don't want to roll 2, just
Hell
1.
yeah.
Well, Chuck, what happened last week?
Let me try to think. I have no fucking idea.
Did I miss last week?
Oh wait, I wasn't here last week.
Oh,
I
yeah.
actually missed last week. I wasn't here.
Weren't you?
Yeah, you were.
Was I?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
What do you want?
You were-
want the plot to
you were
terminate
singing.
with you? Because that's all I got on deck right now, boys. I don't remember what happened last week.
Can't even remember Endgame?
I still had to. Why do you think I watched it again? I want to say that, like, I honestly don't remember a fucking thing that happened last week.
He's wiped it from his memory.
Oh shit, is that your first roll? Do we have to re-roll?
Oh, all right. Well, Sykes, it's up to you.
Okay.
Save the day.
Alrighty. Because I've had a lot of stuff going on this week, so hopefully I was here last week.
Mhm.
And if I was, then let me pull out my notes. Where did I start off at? I feel like I took a lot of notes last week, if that was the case. Alrighty, so we started the session at in the woods with the slain mage. Is that correct?
With what?
This slain mage.
Yes.
In that. Okay, all right. Cool. On the right track. All right, let's go. Let's see. So, we did a lot of investigating on the dais that was there. We ended up finding what looked like some runes underneath the orb that was shattered in the quartz that we had found in its place. With that, the runes for the most part, we determined had a spell like a binding. The spell was called Binding Circle. We were able to get that much out of it. We're still like theorizing exactly what the intent of that was. I don't think we came to a solid conclusion. Exactly what we ended up taking a long rest that evening. In the evening time as well. Lavas did some scouting around the area to see if he could find perhaps where that mage or warlock had been hanging out at. He was able to find his cabin, at which point the following day the whole party kind of gathered around it as we eventually got it unlocked, mostly because of Sykes, but very realistically because of Harkin. And then as we were investigating the inside of it wasn't really a cabin. It was more like a hut that he kind of built on the side of this hill to kind of avoid detection. So as we kind of were like discovering inside of his area, there was a chest in there, and in the chest, as Sykes goes to open it, there was a spell that kind of went off, and it kept going so it made us very leery. We didn't particularly know how to get past it. At which point Sykes more or less put it on Harkin to open it. As Sykes kind of got out, and as Harkin figured it out, he stood behind it. He used, I believe it was his sword or something, to kind of pull it back open from behind. In the spell was kind of there was no damaging things that happened. In there, we found some vials of red liquid. There was a pouch with gold. There were some rations, and then there was a journal. In the journal, we discovered kind of what that warlock was doing a little bit. He kind of the journal essentially like chronicled his time from when he had gotten into this area. It didn't seem like it started right when he got here, but it was a little bit later after kind of maybe one of the settlements had kind of got destroyed, and then it kind of like chronicled his time through the rest here. I'm just scanning to see. It seemed like he had identified that material that was in the orb could amplify the potential like communication, kind of confirming what he had actually did tell us, but that was more like actual confirmation that his personal journal, he had written it as well, so it was probably more of the actual truth. That the quartz kind of amplifies his ability to communicate back and forth with his patron regardless of where they're at. So I think we from there we kind of wrapped some things up in that area, and then we started making our way back to Voldsnu. There were some folks that kind of greeted us like out on the outskirts of Voldsnu. They were kind of they weren't particularly nice to our group of people, because what had happened was, while we were gone and all of this, it looked like, or not looked like, there was news that Nayda, the town leader, had been captured. I can't quite remember if it was they identified specifically who it was, but I know that in the very beginning of just that discussion, they kind of were like pointing the finger at like, well, it could have been the orcs, and it could have been, or the Delwyn, and it could have been like all these different groups, but it all kind of like laid out to be more or less like, since our group had pretty much everybody they wanted to accuse, they didn't like us very much. We got in a little bit of back and forth with them, and then ultimately we kind of made it into Voldsnu. And then as we were kind of going through Voldsnu, we kind of like, we all were kind of taking down different notes about like kind of what was going on in the city. And I know a lot of us had questions like trying to identify who the leader was, kind of leading the town or the settlement. At which point we kind of identified, I think it was one of the Azure Wardens kind of came in and was like, well, there's no one really appointed, but he kind of had stepped up to be the person, but there were still like some infighting from like key leaders inside of the town still. I think we were kind of charged with, hey, here's an option to go save Nayda, and I believe that's kind of where we stopped at in the Weeping Willow.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that.
I was
Go ahead.
just confused at first because for whatever reason, I like couldn't remember ending in the Weeping Willow. So I was like, did I play last week? I don't remember being here.
Yeah, so the Azure Warden came in and asked for volunteers to go and try to rescue Nayda. You all were not overly enthusiastic, but did agree.
I mean, Harkin was very enthusiastic. But he's also not the one being accused.
Yes, we might be able to broker something without killing all the elves.
You hear that? He said kill all the elves! Yay!
I remember that being a big thing from last time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're all kind of roped up in that.
As the Azure Warden goes through and takes inventory, you see several other volunteers come forward. As you can see, a very tall and hunky-looking figure in plate armor with a warhammer in one hand come up and take off his helm. As you can see, long, blonde, wavy hair and an annoyingly attractive smile. Hold out his hand and he says, "Pleasure to meet ya. The name's Jensen. I'll be joining with you." "Oh, you all seem rather nice." And then he leans forward and he looks at Sykes and he says, "What's that you fight with?"
Oh, this here is it's called a rapier. If you must know, if you are unknowing.
"Oh, that's quite nifty. Must be really useful if you can't lift things."
Well, I can show you the business end if you'd like, but I think we'd save that for later, huh? Sykes says it in a joking way. He's not not trying to really threaten him.
Slapping him across the face with a white glove.
Yeah, he's not quite at that point. Although he's almost at that point because he's kind of gotten this. This is the first time someone's taken a jab at him, and it didn't actually it wasn't about him being an orc. So he's oh, actually friendly jesting here.
"Looks like you're quick with it, so as long as you stand behind me, you should be fine."
Oh, I can think of no better place to be than behind you.
He tilts his head and looks at you. "That's a strange way of putting it."
Sykes just smiles with one corner of his mouth just kind of curling up.
Okay.
Why are there sparks flying through air?
Is Sykes flirting with this man?
Well, the intrigue is
Seems so.
Another is a red tiefling woman that comes forward with a slight limp and a nervous look. And she holds out a hand and says, "Pleasure to all of you. The name's Kelvin. Fresh here into Volsnu, but Nayda was kind to myself and the others that remained here. I'd like to help if I can." "Are we not concerned by a Delmoin going with us? No offense, I'm not prejudiced, but we're gonna be fighting your kind."
Don't worry, he's killed plenty of his kind already.
It would not be the first time I have tasted Delwyn blood on my blade. Though hopefully we can maybe
Why do you taste the blood
at
on your
least
blade?
talk. You know, add spice on the road you've been on for a long time. Need something. Especially with
It
the
sounds
jerky,
like you're
it gets
suffering
really
an iron
dry after a while.
deficiency. Could I suggest
Quite
spinach
possible.
instead?
What is this spinach?
Go ahead and let you find out for yourselves.
Barkeep, 2 spinaches. But yeah, I just wander off.
Cooked
to
or
find out
uncooked?
one of each.
He sets down a bowl of leafy greens in front of you and he says, "The rest will be ready in a bit." Coming around this way with a slight creaking stomp to his step comes a bald man with a very puny-looking mace, probably more ceremonial than anything, hanging from his belt, and a holy symbol of an eye around his neck. The eye has a blue iris to it and is gilded in gold. Laka, servant of Clyda, here to help where I may. And the Azure Warden gives a nod and says, "This hopefully will be enough. There's not going to be any number where open war will be won. This might be better for avoiding being seen until we find her."
Good forward party to start at the least. And I
Yeah.
want to stress investigation first. We do not need to invoke the wrath of all the tribes. If one has turned against us and we can find evidence, the other tribes will agree to their sanctioning and murder. We do not want to entangle the entire network as a whole. Your colony grows fast, but we've been here hundreds of years.
Jensen kind of just blinks at all of this with his blonde wavy hair and he goes, "Sounds like you've kind of overstayed your welcome then. Let's find out if you deserve to stay here."
This coming from the one who leaves his own land. Have you been banished from there from well, young whelp?
He gives a very big smile and he says, "Oh no. No, I came here of my own accord. Fresh glory to be won in Marted's name. I look forward to teaching all of you who've grown lax and lazy in your hundreds of years what the old lands have to offer.
We shall see.
Empire's the best warriors in any parts."
Any parts that you knew? Sure. We shall see.
Part of why I look forward to getting to know these parts.
Harkin's gonna lean over to Chuck and be like,
Solarin
"Are they
also
flirting?"
doesn't know if he's flirting with. Yeah, he doesn't know anymore if he's flirting with this guy or not.
Yeah, it's like all the words are being slightly twisted a little bit. You're like, well, maybe, but maybe not. I mean, he's like like devilishly handsome, right? So it's like,
Well, he thinks Sykes is flirting because he's like, "There's no place I'd rather be than behind you."
I know how that
Maybe
sounds.
we shall test
Now
your
I meant
steel.
it,
Oh
but
God,
I'm gonna
no! I
roll
didn't.
with it.
I didn't mean to
I
say
get-
it.
I get it.
Oh no!
But I can't even argue at this point. But yeah, I'm gonna let it roll.
Party members, do not look directly into his eyes. He has a hypnotic effect.
You can't talk normal around it. It's just something strange. Your words get mumbled in your brain.
"I don't fight with steel." And he holds up his warhammer and you can see it's a long wooden haft. "I'd prefer to show you how I deal with my wooden shaft."
It is
As
quite
long as you're in
sturdy.
front of me, as long as you stay in between me and the enemy, I think I would appreciate that.
Let us hope it does not break under pressure. Oh God, what
Kelvin
am I
kind of-
saying? Just smushes spinach in my mouth.
"I promise I'll finish them all quickly once things get exciting." The tiefling Kelvin awkwardly raises a hand. She says, I use fire magic. things might not be... What would the... Low damage?
I like fire.
Have you much experience with it?
With fire?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I have a little bit.
I wish it was something more helpful and less destructive, but it's all I've been able to do.
Sometimes the destruction that fire causes can be helpful.
I'm glad you feel that way. Past 3 villages I lived in didn't see it that way.
Yeah, I
It's
can
only
see
gotten worse since I came here also. Has anyone else had strange reactions to magic out here? I've used it all through Legethos, but as soon as I got here it started getting out of control.
Seems to me that the very land itself here is imbued with magic and has a way of running wild with it.
Just what you
another
want to
just
hear if you're a
forces.
wild magic sorcerer.
There is much you can learn about the control of these things, but it always exacts a cost. I believe you've probably learned that cost well.
Yeah, a bit. Well, if we're setting off, anyone need something before we go?
Did we? Oh yeah, we went potion shopping already. We got 8
Yep.
in the party.
I'm pretty sure you guys bought potions, and then I believe those 6 red vials were discovered to be potions.
Yeah, they.
Yeah, and I got some splint armor. I think we did most of our shopping already.
Yeah.
Well, then in that case, let's get off. We might run into more of my circle once we're underway.
Who's saying this? Is this the warden?
Yeah, the warden.
And just after last night's long rest, I would have taken right again, or a day again.
Okay. Ah. So many mosquitoes right now.
Oh man, they are going crazy up here too.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the wave of cicadas coming.
When do those hit?
It's got to be soon, and it's
Yeah, I
both,
would imagine like
June, both
right?
generations this year.
As the others go about setting up their packs and getting ready, the Azure Warden looks at you and he says, "Well, it's on foot 5 days to Tirith Noir if we have to go the entire way. Have you provisions for that journey?"
Oh, definitely.
We'll be going through some mountain passes, one river crossing, and into the forests.
Well, actually, before we leave, can we get some tents?
Yes, tents are readily enough for sale at 28 gold apiece. Each one
Okay.
can sleep 3 to 4.
And currently we have what? One, or do we have like two?
Tents?
Because I know we had a
We don't
smaller
have
one.
any right now.
We should have at least one, right, from Althsteir at the very beginning.
Oh,
Yes, you did take his tent.
I just can't remember if that was a large tent or if it was just big enough for one.
It was a small tent because he was traveling with himself. He's not glamping with a 4-person tent by himself.
well, if each can buy or do 3, pushing it at 4, we can just get 2. And they were 28 gold apiece. Can't do math. 66?
56.
No, 56. Let's look at the party fund. Some tents.
The bartender, seeing you all volunteer, looks around and then pulls out a stack of water skins that he sets on the bar. For your service, some ale to keep you company along the way. And he pushes forward 6 water skins, each filled with ale, as a donation for you guys.
This one I like. You will be able to stay.
Stay where?
Oh, don't worry about it.
I do worry a little.
Slern, are you okay today? You've been making some weird threats and flirting.
I'm feeling a lot of things that I haven't in a while, and I'm trying to figure out the balance. Leave me alone. You're not my mother.
Do you feel like the only ones who check on you are mother figures? Jensen asks, looking a little bit concerned for you. He puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "We have to look out for each other. This is a safe place for emotional expression. Someone showing concern for you shouldn't be limited to your mother. This is a place for brotherly love."
Must remain neutral. No. We cannot go into it now. I don't. No. Let's go kill some elves. Yeah. This sounds like fun.
Friend, you need not share with us, but do not dismiss us for showing worry and care for you. When you feel happy and safe to share, you may, but know that we here, as brothers in arms, do care for what you need.
Too much understanding. Ah.
I just think
I
he
will
runs out the
consider what you
door.
have said. Yeah. Pretty much.
Runs
Like,
out the
all
door,
right, I'm gonna
tears
go.
in his eyes.
I will check the horses. There are no horses. I'm going to check the horses.
As Jensen shoulders his pack, he says, "We stand together in emotional solidarity as we crush the enemy." Palikar comes up. over towards Salarn and says, I know you and I have not been on the best foot, and well, I feel like that's your fault. But if it will not be further tension, I should like to travel with you as well.
Who was this?
Palikar?
Palagar.
Oh, Paladar. Oh, Harkin's all for it. Paladar's his best bud.
Yes, this is fine, and with me. I regret being aggressive at front but with my kind, it is necessary to have a continual watch on your back. I did not mean affront to you.
Palikar kind of gives a little shrug and holds out his arm and he says, All's forgotten, I assure you, friend.
You've proven yourself fair. Oh, we'll do the night shake.
The night shake or the predator shake?
Tis too early for the predator shake.
I look forward to you proving yourself the same.
Cool. Take the left-handed statement. All right. Just tenses a little.
The Azure Warden takes stock of everything and says, Right. Shall we set off then?
Fine by me. Oh, I need to get my cooked spinach. Hold on. Thank you.
The cooked spinach comes out and it is like 2 leaves of cooked spinach.
Quick and good to go. Just toss it back like a shot.
You find that there is no oil, no seasoning, no garlic, no nothing.
Means I'd have to drink less blood, then it's all good.
As you set off and depart from the Willowbark and then leaving Voltsnu, many of the villagers are watching and some are clapping and cheering. You hear many calls of, Please bring Nayda back to us! And a couple of younger maidens even come up and give a kiss on the cheek to Chuck, Love, and Lavas. No one else.
Wow.
So he's kind of like grabs at his chin, like he's rubbing it. He kind of like moves it around a little bit. He kind of ponders. He looks at Lavas and Chuck like, I don't understand.
They're just like the ones that look normal.
Wow, racist much. Don't like tieflings or orcs?
It is just their bigotry. It'll be
I
fine.
even
Well, I mean,
perform
you know what they
wonderful
say.
music.
Once you go orc, you won't need the stork.
I don't
'Cause
know.
all your
that's what
internal
they say.
systems are damaged.
Yeah.
Gross.
Well, I'm only half orc and half Earth Genasi, so do with that with what you will, I guess.
It is
I
fine.
don't know what to do with that.
They're not even over 60 yet. Jailbait, where I come from.
call that the DiCaprio special.
He calls his bedroom Shutter Island.
That's pretty funny. We didn't get there to that joke on our own, Corryn. Okay.
What do you mean?
Everything kind of laid on to that being able to be made. I'm just saying. I mean, the story played out, and then there was a joke to be made.
Well, and then there's the other expression: when you go tiefling, you won't be singing. But
I gotta.
Like I said, burns out.
I gotta
the
write
vocal
these. I
cords.
gotta write these now. I want to hear Harkin include that in a ballad of his. Once you go orc, you don't need a stork, and then once you go
I think that
tiefling, you
might-
be singing. You gotta
Yeah.
figure it out.
I think that might discourage people.
Especially because it'll be like Sykes and you sitting next to each other. It's strumming on your lute or whatever. What instrument do you have?
I believe I have a flute and a drum. Let me double check. Is a flute and a hand drum.
Yeah.
His picture is a lute, but that just looks more bardly.
I mean, for Koei, those who go satyr won't be haters.
You just keep racking them up. I expect
Give that one a
lyrics next time.
5.
Yeah.
As you go setting off beyond the borders of the settlement out into the snowy forest again, you're in the region where you've encountered some troubles in the past. Partway into your journey, snow starts to fall down again. With the slight wind blowing it at an angle, it is falling heavily as there's already several inches of fresh snow on the surface here. Having experienced troubles here, anyone who wishes to can give me a perception check. Solarn and Sykes, as you're moving through the forest, you can see at times eyes appearing in the trunks of trees, blinking for a moment, looking at you, before disappearing once more.
The Dryads seem antsy in this area.
It would be best to
Be
keep
on
our
your
wits
guard.
about us.
As you're
Like, is
walking,
this, as the sort of map sort of reflects, is there a lot of down trees as we're walking through?
naturally downed, yes.
Oh, okay.
And not like those orcs down over there in Durgheim. Destroying everything. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah,
As
what
you're
is their
trudging
deal?
through the snow, Laka, the cleric, leans over and he goes, "What's this with druids?"
I think he said dryads.
If you keep your eyes to the trees, cleric, you'll see the trees peering back, and well, those are dryads.
those who live within the trunks and protect the forest.
Are they dangerous?
Typically not, but they have been aggravated much these past few months, and there may be other forces affecting them. Do not leave a trunk to your back if you can help it. Even in the best
Laka
of
kind of
times, they
looks
have urges.
around. He says, "Oh, good. We're only in the middle of a forest. Shouldn't be too hard."
If you're concerned, I think Jensen said, stay behind him and he'll protect you.
Yes, but in a forest, I will have a tree to my back, even if I'm behind Jensen.
Well, forever forward.
Jensen kind of hefts his warhammer and he says, "I'd wish I'd known that dryads would be a problem. I would have brought my axe as opposed to my hammer."
Is your axe made of wood as well?
He looks over at Sykes and gives you a little bit of a smirk with a glint of teeth and says, "Easy there. Keep your mind out of the gutter." "No, my axe fells the wood."
Sykes just looks over at Solarian's axe.
"I promise in my hands your wood will fall."
Again, as in your own words, take it easy there.
"Don't worry, I'll go slow."
But is it that he is so terrible at it that it falls, or...
As you're trudging through the snow, the Azure Warden is starting to outpace you a bit to scout ahead. Jensen and Palikar are kind of taking front and back, looking around through here, and Laka says, "Tell me, are any of you devout followers of the gods?"
Not the
Well,
ones that you
not
would be aware
quite.
of?
I know
Not
the people in my
particularly.
monastery were pretty fond of gods.
You are
Delight-
cleric of Clyda, yes?
"I am, yes. Which gods did your monastery follow?"
Oh, they weren't really specific. When I was leaving the monastery, all I heard was, "God, no! Oh God, why? God, help me, please, God!" So they didn't really name any by names. It's just I could just tell, you know.
Love the story.
They're really passionate.
Oh my god, I just had a news pop up. The British ambassador to Mexico got fired because he pointed an assault rifle at embassy employees.
A good reason.
What?
Yeah.
Why'd they give him an assault rifle?
I do not know why he had one because you can't get them in Mexico.
Oh, the same way
I assume-
everybody in Mexico gets assault weapons from the U.S.
Yeah, it's like it's very hard to get them in America too, legally.
No,
under the
really.
Appropriate purview.
Really?
Well, in my head, never mind.
Clearly,
Go
you've
to
never
Morrow
been
and
I'm
to
get
thinking
it.
of like what? No. I haven't. I'm thinking of like what I, as an American, think of like what would be a hard to get weapon, and yeah, they're not same.
You're thinking of Type 3, like full automatic.
Yeah, exactly. That's in my. That's like, well, yeah.
I mean, that's not even that hard to get. You just have to fill out one more form.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah, as long as you got a
If
clean
you're in
record,
Arizona, you
it's
can go
just
to the Circle
bureaucracy.
K and get one from a trunk.
I'm in Nevada, dude. It's
Yes.
like easier to get one here than it is in Arizona.
It's
It's
probably
not
the
true.
easiest place
It
in the
is
world.
not true. Arizona's got the most lenient gun laws in the country.
I don't doubt it. They're pretty lenient.
Yeah, Texas has nothing on Arizona. You don't even have to fill out a form for person-to-person sales.
Not in most states.
I mean,
As long
that
as
makes
it's a
sense.
Long gun.
Any kind. You also don't need a permit for carry concealed or otherwise.
Yeah, you don't need that here in Nevada either.
Yeah,
You can open
we were,
carry here.
We were debating that, but we haven't moved on that yet.
Anyway, sorry for that derail. That was just so confusing. Why? Laka starts to come over towards Chuck then, and he says, "Well, if you have a history of the gods, but you do not know them, perhaps I can be of assistance." And he pulls out a little pocketbook, and he starts flipping it open and reciting the history and lore of Clyda.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean,
Oh, we can get to
Sykes
him
will actually
afterwards.
whatever relevant god is.
Spikes in his like small travels he's had in this area has heard of Clyda a little bit and kind of piques his interest a little bit. As you know, he is absolutely just trying to understand. Like, you know, people talk about gods. He understands Grumptious and who he wants to follow, but maybe there is someone out there.
So Clyda, or as the old name, Pleiada, is known as the Far Eye. She is wisest of all the gods, and she watches all things that happens. Dispassionately and without bias. She is the keen-minded one. She counsels Benwir, the High Lord, but never challenges him on his rulings, simply offers observations. She is known for the ability to see far, and is the one most favorable to consult with augury and the like. And then starts going into a history of like all of the mythology of Clyda from the very beginning. If Chuck does not cut Laka off, Laka goes for about 2 hours.
No, I'm just gonna zone out. Like, Chuck's eyes glass over, and he just like Chuck's been through this before.
As this is going on, Jensen kind of drifts over and starts weighing in as he offers little snippets of like, well, Marteg has relation to this, as you learn that Marteg is another god, and keeps wanting to inject his god into the conversation.
So
As
Belka,
you're
you
getting
The name of-
heard
what was the name of-
Hawkins' song? Yeah.
What was the name of his god? Sorry.
It is Marteg with the umlaut over the A.
Okay.
I can't remember how to type an umlaut.
I don't know. It's the 2 dots.
Yeah. So as Jensen keeps wanting to pip in with conversation, you learn that Marteg is like the reckless champion. He is the god of sport, wrestling, one-on-one competition, great feats and deeds. Not that Jensen openly admits it, but Marteg is also frequently the one that like loses battles because he's far too interested in grand feats than being tactically sound.
He's a Leroy Jenkins of sorts.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That is a great way to put it, actually.
For the glory, he'll go get her done. Sometimes falls a little short.
Yep. So he's very popular
Awesome.
amongst warriors and paladins. Not exclusively the foolhardy and reckless ones, but it is a common trait. There are others that love the great deeds, but are not so suicidal. But let's just say it's rare to see an old follower of Martech.
Mm. That's great.
And if you do, then you should be very afraid. Because that usually means they have, like, survived multiple encounters where they threw themselves into hordes of 20, 50, or 100. All during this time, Palikar seems completely uninterested in these conversations, as do Kelvin and the Azure Warden.
I'm sort of staying in the front with Palikar and Azure.
Tangentially, if none of you knew, I just recently found out you can sign a friend up to be visited by Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, it's fucked.
I'm sad that I do not have the opportunity to do that. Oh God, we could volunteer Brittany.
That
That would be great.
would be great.
We could.
It has to be during a game too.
I have her address. We could just keep sending Jehovah's Witnesses to her. Anyone
What if one succeeds?
in not dying? That seems unlikely. If it's during a game, we will hear a gun cock. Any of you wanting to engage in conversation between Jensen or Laka?
Not really. They're talking about gods I don't even know.
Well, you should. You're being colonized. Best way to survive is to learn the new ways.
It's true, but no. I'm
Yeah,
one of
I
those
think,
naive ones that
I think
think they're gonna honor their treaties.
I think Sykes would probably ask if there's other deities. Would they know about the other deities in the area, or who they follow, or not who they follow, but other deities that are similar to the ones that they follow?
Both
Like-
reluctantly acknowledge that there are other gods, but they seem quite offended you would want to talk about any gods but theirs.
I guess Sykes was like trying to fetter out if there's like a pantheon of gods that maybe work together. So by asking like those kind of like investigating questions, he'll be like, "Oh no, these gods are pretty isolated or like in solid like work alone kind of."
No, there is a pantheon. It's true. Benwir is the High One, the Taker, the High Judge, whom Clyda advises. There is Marteg's rival, Ilsa, the designer, the strategist. Tilda, the Hearthkeeper. Laka kind of reluctantly indicates towards Palikar. There is Saketh, the Sorrowful, and Dinluin the Green. But assuredly, Clyda is wisest and most knowledgeable of all of them.
She certainly seems as such. What is it that Martag and Alsa have against each other?
Jansen kind of like clears his throat and looks a little bit uncomfortable. Well, where Ilsa likes to sit in the back, draw up plans endlessly, use cowardly tactics, and reduce everything to numbers, Marteg is the hero, the rescuer, the brave one. Laka kind of looks over and says softly, Ilsa is the strategist and the one who wins wars.
I mean, surely, Jansen, you can't say that understanding your enemy and working against their weakness is a bad thing.
It's a coward's trick. Do you wish to win on your own merit, or because of what your opponent's weakest at?
Well, perhaps the merit is in the preparation.
He kind of gives the first slightly ugly sneer, but even as he sneers, he just conveys confidence, bravery, and giving you a sense that he would watch over you and take care of you.
Be a lot of aftercare.
Perhaps there is more merit in the great deeds that you can muster.
I would rather have a great death of deeds told in story than the reluctant admittance by analyzing numbers. That shows how I won. And Laka says very quietly out of Jansen's earshot, Marteg is quite fond of losing the war to win the fight.
Harkin, it seems as though you may have a hero chock full of exploits and deeds to sing about for ages. In this one, Jansen.
Oh. Yeah, I'll stick with Palatar. He seems more heroically than this guy.
There are none that cross swords with me that do not sing my praise afterwards.
I don't need to be hearing about your bedroom exploits.
I don't think he was talking about the bed. You weren't talking about the bedroom, were you?
It was not my intention, but even when there is a fellow in the bed with myself and the other, he reluctantly admits my superiority as well. And I do always make sure to calm and console him whenever he feels inadequate in my presence.
Right, so Benware, what is it specifically that Kaleida advises him on?
Benware is the judge. He is stern, not one to give help. His presence is stern justice in punishment. Kaleida oft advises where his presence is deserved or less so. Where he is the judge, she might be the advocate or prosecutor.
Very well. Is there any of these gods that you've mentioned that perhaps bestow favors or look highly upon great merchants or artisans or carpenters or folks of the hardworking class?
Janitors.
Yes.
The gods do not give, friend. That is not their role. At this, Palikar from some ways up turns and looks and says, Tilda does. Yes, for those weak enough to ask for the gods' help.
The gods are but
They-
forces. They do not smile upon certain individuals. They just are. And it is how you wield them that shows your true worth in the end. Will you let the power consume you? Or let your empathy burn you out?
Well, I wouldn't have put it so nihilistically, but more or less. It is
Martek.
true, Tilda is the generous one, but she is the only that gives anything other than punishment. Only the weakest ask for her help.
Well,
Those who
it's-
shun assistance when they desire it most are the ones who are weak.
Yeah, what does this man just say about Palikar? Is Harkin don't have to throw hands?
Anything specific about Palikar, but followers of Tilda are the ones who, like, grovel asking for help, was kind of his tone.
Martag seems pretty cut and dry how one could be recognized by such a god, but how do you, Laka, how do you gain favor or notoriety or reputation with your god, Clyda?
I seek knowledge as she does. I ask counsel. I use augury and divination. She is happy to enlighten. Do any of you have a question you would ask? I could ask on your behalf.
Or knowledge
Nothing
would cloud
that
the
you would-
judgment.
Judgment comes from knowledge.
Perhaps Clyda, if she is as wise and as knowing as you claim, could perhaps help me and guide me in creating something from the earth, the ores here in this land.
That is not often the kind of knowledge she provides, but if you wish to ask a question with regard to them, she may answer.
Well, there is something for me to dwell upon. It seems as though, as all I understand from Grumsh, there's nothing that I can ask that doesn't come at a significant cost.
Where do babies come from?
Well, not orcs, I can tell you that.
If that's simply the case, then explain to me how I've come to be. I have a memory of being a child and young.
He holds up a hand and he says, a joke. I'm sorry. And then Laka looks around, digs into his backpack, and pulls out some papers and says, I have some enlightening documentation on the subject, should you wish to look tonight. And then holds it out towards Chuck.
Are those illustrations I see upon those pages? Are those...
Almost exclusively.
Hmm. You probably could do well to learn some.
Though there are some excellent articles in there. I keep it for the articles.
I hear their play reviews are fantastic.
I wouldn't call them plays, but they do review performances.
Performance, the key word there.
We must find the most excellent in any field.
Well, if any of you have a thought that you wish to ask, I might be able to cast a divining spell on your behalf.
Well, it seems that we know sort of what we're walking towards and into. We don't fully understand our enemy, and although this may be perhaps something Martag would forsake, and it's more along the lines of what Ilsa would appreciate. Is there anything that Clyda could tell us about our enemies moving forward?
Which enemies?
Well, if it was in fact the Delwyn that captured Nayda, I would like to start to understand them a little more.
Are seeing one, but you would need to ask in somewhat less abstract questions. Something
Well-
closer resembling a yes or no would be helpful.
He looks over at Jansen, then he looks back. Would outright assaulting this tribe or this group that has stolen away Nayda yield victory for us?
Laka seems deep in thought and he says, I will need to ask this question closer to the time of encounter, but I will do so before we engage them.
Very well. I think that should help guide our preparations.
All during this time, the Azure Warden has been scouting ahead as you trek through the snow. And after a day, he points towards one spot and says, we'll take rest here. This is a good spot. Tomorrow morning we'll make it to the river crossing. Any of you
This is-
particularly good on watch?
I think I'm amazing at it.
Does anyone else feel the same way about you?
Well, no one. We haven't been attacked on my watch, so
I would second what he says. I can't recall a time where we've been under duress while he's watched over us as we sleep or rest.
To be fair, if he's poor at watch, the first time you run into a problem would likely be your last.
I could stay up with him for the first 2 watches.
I would offer my services, but I often find myself deep in thought or preparing equipment.
playing with a stick.
not a stick. I have my smith's tools and my leatherwork tools. I would like to fix.
Yeah, there's
things.
literally nothing I want less.
He
Well, your
does have
boots
a
probably could
minimum
use.
hat.
Your boots probably could use some servicing, and I just like to look at the smaller, finer details. Sometimes
Jansen's walking by, getting ready to set up camp, and he just like in passing says, "So you're a giver then?"
I like to think I'm more of a creator. If you take that as giving, then I suppose I can't argue. I like to be compensated for what I do, though.
Well, then those on watch, um, please do so. I'll take the last one.
Right?
We have tents enough, and he goes about setting up for you guys.
Oh, wonderful. But yeah, we're doing first watch.
Is Harkin doing that with Salern's help? Or is Salern going to do it?
Harkin can give Solar an advantage.
Okay.
Still not great.
I mean, it's better than a nat 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. During like the time that we're up, but we're like on watch. I think Sykes would kind of start drafting plans to see if he could do anything with his that quartz that he kind of broke down into like that gem stone that potentially could be used as a pommel. He would like start drafting plans on like how he would emplace that in a variety of different kinds of weapons, whether it's his rapier or looking across at like some of the other swords some of the other party members are carrying. I know Lavas has some scimitars, so he kind of look at like what would actually make sense, like that he could potentially craft it to try to emplace it in there.
The effects that it seems to give off seem unpredictable.
Okay.
Dependent on where you set it, but with just a little bit of crafting work, it looks like you could set it into most weapons that are melee.
I think he would hold on to it for now.
Do you fix it into anything?
I think he'll hold on until he's gonna think of it more of like he needs a control group. So if he just wouldn't want to give up one of his weapons, put it in there, and then now he's out of weapon if he doesn't want to use it. So
Okay.
you know what? Yeah, I'll throw it in a dagger that I got. I'll put it in a dagger that I have.
Okay. Let's see. What kind of tools do you have to work with?
I have my smith tools, my leatherworking tools, and my cobbler's tools.
Let's go with the smith's tools. If you could give me a check with those tools.
I like that.
Over the course of the hour, you fix it into your dagger, And as you set it in, you swear the color on it changes ever so slightly.
Shiny.
Well, I guess there's only one way to figure out how this is going to work.
Do you stab yourself?
Um. Oh, we are around a goodness. I think Sykes would be excited to see how this works. He would probably throw it at a tree to see if he potentially, if there's anything that would happen out of that at first, before he would probably make an attempt to attack, like within melee range or a living thing.
So are you throwing it?
Yeah, he's gonna make he's gonna throw it at a tree to see if he's gonna heft it a little bit and see how this holds up, and he's gonna throw it at a tree.
Could I get a d20 from you as you hurl it at the tree?
Nice to know you guys.
That is a 24 to hit as you fling it sharply at the tree. It slams point first into it. As a pulse of purple light emanates from the dagger upon impact, it explodes and the tree splinters. And can I get you to roll 2d8, please?
You're not fucking with the trees, are you? Oh no.
As the dagger hits the tree, it erupts, dealing 5 thunder damage to the tree as it splinters, and you take 5 damage as well.
Do I deduce if that damage was done because of my proximity to the tree, or do I feel like it's just experimenting with things I don't understand?
The latter.
Okay.
You do not feel like you were in the blast radius.
Goodness, that hurt. He's gonna shake his hand out and realize oh man, its wrist is a little tight. Shoulder hurts. Feels like he just got hit with I don't know, probably I would imagine either it's a concussive feeling that he felt, or probably a jolt of energy that he wasn't expecting. Looks like I need to do a little work with this. Did the dagger itself explode?
Nope, it is intact.
Is he gonna go retrieve it and then gather the wood that's kind of splintered and bring it towards... If we had a campfire going, I guess he'd bring it towards the campfire.
You do have a campfire. It's rather cold.
Well, I found a faster way of getting woods, he'll say to Solaren. Although it comes at a little bit of a cost. That was pretty wild, huh? I didn't know the lands here harnessed that much raw energy.
The warden comes stomping over, looking around, and he says, "What was that noise?"
Sykes feeling kind of proud of himself, taking one step into crafting things that have powers beyond just regular martial capabilities. He hefts it. Oh, it's just something that I made. If you'd like to give it a try, I'd aim a little further, and it does have quite a bit of a sting.
You right in the head? There are predators all in these parts, and you just let off a thunderous boom?
Have you just I understand that was a poor mistake now. But have you been so excited about something that you just couldn't wait? Because that's what that was. And I'll
No,
try to refrain
because
next
I have better survival instincts than a teaspoon.
Well, if there are so many predators as you
Solar's on
say.
mute.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
And you did this to a fallen tree, correct?
fallen tree. Well,
One
it
that
was that
might-
one that's over there a little bit in the distance of probably about 30,
It's
40
fallen
feet
now.
away. It looks like there's a. If you look at the base of the tree, it looks as though it separates into two really thick branches, but that's just a cleft in the tree that this tiny dagger just made. It's
Tashatnik, what did I tell you about the trees? And who resides
Did this-
within?
Yeah. Did this happen during the watch where Harkin was helping Solarin?
yeah, it would have been like in the first couple hours of the
Uh,
well, the first hour really.
Sights, didn't you mention that you saw dryads in the trees earlier?
I understand what I did now was not what I should have done. I can't tell you how exciting this is. You clearly don't have an eye for
Bull
craftsmanship.
Sykes.
Maybe you can tell us after the wolves come to tear our throats out. How does that sound?
Well, it sounds like if you're a mighty warrior and Jansen is up for any great feat or deed, then the wolves are nothing we should worry about. But I understand your sentiment. I won't do it again.
Perhaps Jansen and I and the others, with some semblance of discretion, should go and continue on and leave you to deal with the wolves that you bring in.
Well, if you wish to move camp, we can move camp.
He just like open mouth looks at you for a second and goes, "Go to sleep. I beg you."
So long as that's not a dare, I will. And I'll take the last watch if it.
In what way would that be a dare?
You're seemingly very frustrated with me and just made words to leave me out here to defend for myself. But we're not here to squabble or fight against each other. I would like to see that Nayda is safe, and I think as long as we can both put that goal ahead of us, then we can put my indiscretion behind us.
I need to scream better before I recruit a posse.
It is kind of funny that like Sykes is one of the first people to be like, "Sure, I'll go help." He's like, "Cool, we got one. Any others?"
Yeah, and
Limit.
he's just kind of speechless at how this is going already.
Limit your future tests to those who have already fallen. No more life needs to be taken from this area.
Good gods.
Very well.
Okay.
Sir. I will do as you ask. Perhaps next time I create something, I'll confer with the greater group of people before I execute trials. But yeah, like that was pretty impressive, wasn't it?
We are in a land where magic spawns up everywhere randomly. There is nothing that is not oppressive right now.
But I made that with my own hands. Like, okay.
Yes, and it is
I'll
quite
go to bed.
effective how you prematurely limited the 80 years it took that creature to grow to its height.
Who's taking the next watch?
Apparently not me. Sykes will go to his. He won't stomp, but he's like, "Hey, they don't appreciate Man, that was dumb, but they can't see how cool that was.
I'll take the next
Perhaps-
watch.
Perhaps we should put you on next cooking duty. You seem salty enough to leave the food with flavor also.
I haven't cooked too much, but I wouldn't mind trying my hand at it.
There is such a long sigh of, oh, the gods bring justice.
I think that's Benware that you should be asking for.
No, bitch!
But I'll help Chuck if he wants to take lead on the next one.
So you can roll with advantage, because that's not great.
I've rolled 3 times this session, and I've gotten 2 2s and a 4.
All right, let's go for 20.
Well, you have advantage on this check, so check
There
number
you
four.
go.
Oh,
There we go.
okay. I was like a
Fantastic.
1.
There's some hope yet.
You know, at least see the wolves as they come in to attack.
Puppies.
Yeah.
They just want scratchies.
For just clarity, there was a pause before I decided to throw it, and that pause was like, me, I don't want to throw it, but Sykes will throw this thing.
Yeah, we
I know.
that
I
was all
figured at the
Sykes,
other
not
side
you.
of the camp, though. I didn't see it.
It's like, oh.
Chuck, during your watch, you see lots of eyes looking curiously at you as the explosive destruction of one tree seems to have garnered some ill will around you.
Does anything attack us, or are there just a lot of eyes watching us?
Right now, just a lot of eyes.
Okay. Well, no, I'm not really worried about it.
It's creepy.
And you conclude your watch with none of them attacking, just very much bothered since one of their trees got murdered.
That sounds about right.
All right, I'm gonna go trance out then.
And who's taking the third watch?
I mean, Sykes was pretty sincere when he's like, yeah, I understand that I messed up.
Yeah, no one's letting you watch. Laka will actually take third watch.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He's like, free servants, dryads as you've been called, don't take heinous action against us as the indiscretion of one of our groups just destroy.
Still thinking of just Solarin's words of "Don't put
Yeah.
your back to a tree trunk." It's just swirling.
Well, that's all. You know what? That's all Sykes was doing. He was clearing a single tree out that he could put his back to, and now he's got all the area to watch.
Benware would deserve to punish you.
Oh, what was that? Been weird. Punish. Oh yes.
Jansen takes the last watch and isn't perfect, but he keeps a careful eye out as he finishes his watch as the morning crests and is. Everyone up, boys! Seems as though there is no repercussions for our friend's foolhardiness.
Certainly, Jensen, you have to understand that if you created something,
Do I have to understand?
well,
I don't think I do.
you're right. It is your choice to understand or not. I will quit arguing my point.
Did we make it
I
through the
do
night?
concede You were
You do
correct.
make it through the night.
Okay.
A hand only needs to be struck once for attention to be gained. There is no more use to berating him further.
So long as he stops arguing about it.
Who wants eggs?
Is Solarin cooking?
I guess, sure.
Could I get an intelligence check as you try to cook up a meal to calm everyone's grumpy moods?
Going over my goddamn mouth, don't I? There it goes. Just bring it. It's alright.
You prepare a decent meal that people dig into, calming things down as the others are not berating Sykes anymore. As you're eating, though, you see a creature shuffling forward in the snow, seeming to be somewhat burrowing, kind of trudging along. It is the size of a smaller dog, but it seems to have 6 legs to it as it kind of shuffles along and pokes its long neck above the snow.
Does it seem dangerous?
It doesn't seem like it, though you've had some strange encounters with creatures.
Uh,
Do
Uh,
we have any
has-
idea what this is? Yeah.
You could give me a nature check.
Nature.
This appears to be some form of 6-legged badger. Likely wandered into the radiation zone.
I have not seen one with this many legs before.
But obviously it's that creature.
Yeah, should be friendly.
Has Solarin finished making the eggs?
Yes.
Can I get not super close to the creature, but put like my eggs down, see if he'll eat them?
Give me an animal handling check. It will not eat the eggs.
Oh. What was its reaction?
It kind of scrunches up its nose and lets out a weird hissing howl as it will not eat them on a train.
Argon will start looking through his pat. He should have. Wait, let me check my inventory. Does he have? Did we put all the rations into one thing, or did we each have our own set still?
A lot of us put them
Uh,
in there. I know that I kept some, like a handful of mine out.
Okay. I
We have
figured, like-
23 in the party inventory, or well, we would have had to spend last night's, right? So -6.
Yeah, or 6 or more. Anyways, am I able to find
They
some
have their own food.
sort of dried meat?
Yes, you are able to find some dried meat.
He'll put that on the ground as well, but further away from the eggs. And then he'll step back to give the creature some room.
The warden emerges from his tent and then pauses and looks at it and goes, "It's vegetarian."
Oh. I don't think I have any vegetables. They don't store very well.
I take some of the raw spinach that I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
finish my grab from the bar. The like couple leaves I have left, and
It's an
throw it out towards it.
herbivore, not a pescatarian. That there is a Mathir.
Oh, is
It's
it
a
friendly?
very special creature. He hesitates and he says, "It is, though it's best not to dwell on that." Slaying such a creature that has healing properties.
Who said we were going to slay it? Like, I just want a pet.
Does it tend to be more aggressive? I have not seen one of this variety.
Spikes
It
puts
is
the
not
dagger
aggressive
away.
at all. I didn't say you were speaking of it, but in times of great need, we slay such creatures to heal ourselves.
Oh, that's horrendous. It's so cute.
So you sacrifice the well-being of this creature to benefit others?
That is
Yes.
the cycle.
You eat dried meat.
Oh, I just want to ensure that I understand.
Yeah, but they're not as cute as this guy.
Well, perhaps we can get it to follow us. And in our time of need, well,
Here, kitty.
perhaps it
kitty.
can fulfill.
But you said it was a badger.
Here,
A
badger.
six-legged
They're-
badger. No, it's a Mathir.
They're not
Yeah.
easily trained, but if you want to try to bring it along, so be it.
How's it reacted to everyone just now paying attention to it?
Looking curious, it's neither skittish nor approaching closer.
What would happen if Harkin tried to take a step closer?
With your animal handling check, it like tilts its head and just slightly shuffles back, maintaining the same distance.
I'll try to.
Arjun?
I want to do an animal
Yeah.
handling check.
Go ahead. Oh my goodness,
I-
that's another 19.
I really thought it was going to be a one for a second. I was
Nice.
like, no. He hits it with a rock.
We're trying to howl
so
bear
what
cut
does-
this thing.
What does Chuck do?
He is going to lock eyes with the. You say it has 6 legs, 6-legged badger.
It's not an actual badger, but yes, it looks like a 6-legged badger.
I'm gonna give him like just a nod. Like, I get it. I get why you don't want to come. I get it. And hopefully he gives me a little nod back.
It tilts its head and it like looks down at the ground, and then it kind of shuffles forward towards you with its 6 legs, and then looks up and it licks at your shoe.
Harkin is very devastated at this.
I will give it some of my rations. I'll just give it like a little whatever I'm eating.
Remember, it's vegetarian.
Yeah, it's an herbivore.
There's gonna be like dried berries or raisins in some of these rations, right?
Why, I
someone gives
figured
him a
the
good berry.
rations were just like, hardtack type stuff,
I thought it was like dried, like food.
I guess, yeah. I guess the
it's
reality
both.
is it can kind of be what we understand is like it's got to be nutritious enough for us to like sustain.
gotta be
So it
some
can't
trail
just be
mix
like,
in there
it's gotta be
somewhere.
like proteins and other things
Hardtack
just
and
to-
dried meat mostly.
Okay.
Is it injured at all?
Mm-mm.
No, it's just trudging its way through the forest.
Being social.
Oh, okay.
I reckon it came because of the commotion last night, but
I don't think that's what happened, Sykes. Harkin's gonna look over him. And he's gonna look at Chuck. His eyes are gonna be so big. He's gonna be like, Chuck, do you think you can convince it to let me pet it?
No,
Oh.
I saw
Do
what
you
you
think
did to that tree.
I didn't do anything this year. That was Sykes.
Oh. Still no.
well,
He doesn't like you.
it appears as though this thing doesn't like tieflings.
I'm not even gonna pet it myself. I'm just, if anything, I'm just gonna like give it put a little hardtack on the floor and mostly ignore it.
This
It,
is so
like
upsetting
a
to Harkin.
cat, comes forward and eats the hardtack, and then drags its body across your leg.
God damn it.
But you're doing the perfect approach to getting like a cat's love too. You got to be kind of standoffish and just.
Yep. Well, it seems you've made a friend. At least until such time as we need to slay it.
If anybody puts a
Who
hand
said
on this caterpillar badger, they
The
will have
warden.
to answer to me. The reason why it has no problem with me is because I live in harmony with nature. And I know the second...
Because you like fire.
Well, fire is a part of nature. It is simply what ends and devours it.
You say that now, but when you're bleeding out on the ground, you may thank me for slaying it.
I think if you slay this creature, you really slayed.
Let's save the slaying for...
The elves.
Yes, Sykes intentionally pauses before... Well, not...
It might not have been
Particularly
us
the
who did
elves.
it, guys. Can we
Yes,
just...
they did claim it was
Can we
orcs. I don't
entertain
think
for
it
a
was orcs.
second that it might not have been the Delwyn?
Yeah, I think it could have been. What about gnomes? Could have been gnomes. They're
What's
tricky.
a gnome?
I mean, if you
Well-
wanted to incite the largest settlement against the native population, what would be a great way to do it but to kidnap their leader and blame it on them? Just putting that out there.
Yeah, it would probably be better to capture some, if not all of them, to understand and interrogate them. This may be
This would
a
be
fool's
fine.
errand, as Jansen would look at it. And
Laka looks over at Salarn and says, "Are you trying to imply someone might have created political trouble between Voltsnu and the Delmwyn?"
If it was a way to bring... If you were a weaker faction, tactically, what would be a great way to gain an advantage onto larger powers? Set them against each other. Find them in a
And
weakened
who
state.
might be the one to do such a thing?
I don't know, but with the intervention of all these species and some of the demon summoning and
Do you mean to
Reaches
point the
of
finger
power.
at Orc?
I simply mean to keep our options open and not slaughter my kin because of a perceived offense, which has not been substantiated yet.
Laka
Well-
looks at Sykes and says, "How do you feel about him accusing the Orcs?"
I did
Well-
not accuse the orcs.
well, Laka, I thought that you followed a goddess that saw things without bias. But
Seems to be the
perhaps
goddess of
her
straw
knowledge-
men.
Perhaps her knowledge doesn't transfer upon you. What I simply suggest is, when we find the enemy that is taking Nayda, we will know at that point if it was Orc or if it was Delmwyn, and, well, I don't think the outright slaughter of those individuals is appropriate, although I know the enemy will suffer casualties. We have to understand why they did that.
The gods are not omniscient. They do not know everything. I am trying to extrapolate information.
Well, we're not the captors, so you'll only
A
extrapolate
likely story.
suggestions. It is the likely story. And likely, you're going to see that it's true.
The warden just rolls his eyes and he says, "Let's move out. We're near making it to the crossing. That is enough speculation for now."
Speculation. The warden has it right. As Sykes kind of turns away from Laka and he starts walking. Oh, by the way, I saw more dryads in the trees.
Laka looks over towards Solarn and says, "I'm with you. I think it was Orc."
I do not like you. You are putting words into my mouth. Please
Oh, man.
stand at least 15 feet away from me, if possible. And turn and walk away.
The warden is taking the lead up front. Could I get perception checks from everybody else? Sykes, as you're keeping an eye, you see a number of animals that you do not recognize, seeming quite interested with you, but keeping some distance away.
Do they resemble things I've seen before, or they're completely like foreign and alien to me?
Some of them look like wolves. Others are like the size of bears, but a little bit more lanky-like. Something between like a horse and a wolf in build.
Seems to be either large animals of burden out here, or some pretty rather large predators. I think we should push on until we can get out of this area. I would hate to sleep here and draw the ire of any pack of these things. While the day kind of goes on, he'll talk with Solarn about describing kind of what he saw to see if Solarn could get any like insight to like what these animals actually are. You're from here. Are these creatures we should worry about?
They are certainly predators. We have certainly aroused the suspicion of those around here. It'd be very dangerous to let down our guard.
Sounds like we should double the watch tonight. And not throw daggers at trees, I know.
As you say that, you see Jensen turning and holding up a finger as if he's about to say something, and then he goes, "Okay, since you've already said it."
Would someone else like to hold the dagger? Then you know that it wouldn't be me.
Someone just looks at him. You have done wrong. You have learned. You will not do wrong again. Just push it back towards him.
No matter what anyone says, I don't think the Delmwind did this with malice. If it was the Delmwind. And I have no intentions of slaughtering your kind. Nor do I
If
think it
it's-
was Orc. So hopefully this
I'm-
sentiment carries.
And I do believe. But if it was, I'm not. We are a quick to anger people. It could have been one of us. Though it was not done with the sanction of the shit, sorry. Kiri Lutar. I would find it hard to believe this was sanctioned by the larger clan chiefs. A splinter group, maybe, but this seems more to a play of power to me than an outright declaration of the tribes.
Yes. Well, I think there's only one way to end this. And although some of these folks may seem bent on exacting vengeance and the death of the captors, not to say we spare them, but we ought to capture some in return and at least understand their place here.
Oh, if they
Allow them
are,
to face some form of real justice.
if they are of my kind and they have done this, they will pay. This move endangers all of us. But yes, we need to figure out what their motivation was. Because this cannot be the will of Tirith Norm.
Yeah. Although I like what Laka says Kalyda stands for, I can't particularly agree with his taking of sides here. When simply I see it as there's no sides to take. Yet.
This one likes to hedge their bets, it seems.
I agree. We should keep an eye on him.
As you travel on for the next hour or so, as you crest over a ridge, you can see down into a valley where the snow's melted away as if warm winds passed through here, and a river running through and a narrow stone bridge crossing it. Next to the bridge, you can see a small stone structure with a windmill operating, and a watermill, sorry. Well, this will be the last friendly haven we have for some time. Let's make our way down.
Yes, let us push through.
As we kind of get closer to this watermill, does it appear as though there's like people that have been inhabiting it? Does it appear?
It does appear to be operational.
Okay.
Fully operational and armed.
Do we see people coming up to it?
You do not.
Okay.
Um,
I will suggest to the group as we get closer. Well, if our intent is to not make ourselves known as we get closer, I can try to conceal and make it harder for anyone to identify us. If that's what you would wish, or if these are folks known to you, then Perhaps we can be greeted with a warm welcome.
I've not spoken to them before, but I know of them. This is known as Frother's Mill. They wish to live in solitude, but receive travelers favorably. And then he pauses and looks and he says, travelers from Voltsnu favorably.
All right, I will
know.
be in the back. Perhaps the rest of you should approach first, then.
I shall stay back here too. I understand my very appearance is alarming.
You can come, just don't be all tetchy about being orc or something.
It
Yeah,
is
no
the life,
worries.
I suppose.
Yes, it must be
Just
so
head
hard
toward the
being
back.
you.
I understand.
As you're drawing closer, the door opens and you can see an older man, perhaps his later 40s, with kind of tousled brown-gray hair, and holding a wooden mallet that's very much not meant as a weapon, but holding it slightly as when he says, "Hello? You are?" There's a moment's pause, and then
Harkin, go.
Jansen takes a stride
I
forward
choose you.
and turns on his charm as he starts introducing. Greetings, friend. My travelers and I venture from Voltsnu. We heard of your fine hospitality in this most exceptional mill, and wished if we might prevail upon you for a moment's respite under your eaves, and perhaps exchange stories and news. We have a bard amongst us who gives most excellent songs, should you wish. He looks over at Harkin like, Harkin, come!
Harkin will follow. I don't know why he's being.
Being very
As you're like
coy.
moving a little slowly, he's like, Harkin to me!
Who is this again? Is it Jansen or?
Jansen. Yeah, Jansen was the one doing the talking. And he kind of puts his arm around you and he's like, huh? Huh? A most excellent bard! Remind me, what kind of instrument do you play?
He can play either a flute or a hand drum.
He kind
As-
of like pats the drum on your back and he's like, does a great job with this one. The older man kind of lowers his mallet and he says, you may enter. Please, please, come. My home, free to you.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize this was this guy's home.
Yeah, he's the mill guy.
You are, what is word? Great murderers?
Adventurers?
Ah, yes! That is name you use.
Commentary.
You're like, this guy's super odd.
Where I come from, we just call what is.
Oh. I don't think it's murder though. I think it's more like we kill dangerous creatures and people. We don't murder like innocent people or anything. At least as far as I know, he'll look to the others.
I think you should clarify dangerous creatures and dangerous people, not dangerous creatures and people. Because that sounds like what a murderer is.
Is
Maybe
not
you,
murder
Sykes.
if someone dangerous?
If someone's doing evil, and evil being against the well-being of the many,
And you decide
Then
what
you
is
must
evil?
murder them. You must murder them to protect the well-being of your tribe. This guy gets it.
You are tribal then. You
I've-
want beer?
Yes. Beer is yes.
am I getting any odd vibes from this guy other than his language?
You can give me an insight check.
Why can't I never find it when I need it? There it is.
He seems more blunt and curious than like hostile.
Okay.
Come, I make beer here.
You are most gracious. Thank you.
Awful.
Where do you go to murder evil people?
Well, it really depends. Right now we're gonna try to avoid the killing of people. Because that's not always the answer to all problems.
We must investigate to see who is just to murder.
Most efficient, you get to decide who is evil.
Generally, it's if someone, is trying to kill us, then we know that, we have the right to defend ourselves.
He nods
It's
for a
not
moment
just-
and he thinks, maybe they decide you evil.
Maybe. But
Not just our choice
The
alone.
winners decide, right?
While he's talking, he pulls out very crudely hammered tin tankards and goes over to a keg and opens it up and fills all of them and starts handing a very sour beer to each of you.
Mm.
It's sour like a green tart apple.
Ooh,
Ah.
I like me some sours. Lauren's just gonna
Well-
drink it. He's cool.
Yeah.
He thinks it's
Well,
alright.
tell me, good sir. I know that we're the latest group to have come by here, but was there a larger group that passed this way a little while before? Perhaps the
Murderers
past-
come this way.
No, this wouldn't have been murderers. This would have been. I guess you could classify them as murderers. They would have had fighters with them.
Can Sykes kind of, because I know that he took kind of like a good stock of the armor right before Nayda took off. Would he be able to describe the folks that we're kind of looking for?
Yes, those murderers, they passed some days ago.
Huh.
You go to murder them?
No, no, no.
You know magic here. We find magic after we come here.
Oh, very much. What type of magic can you do?
He seems confused for a moment, and then he raises his hand and he points to a barrel, and you watch as the whole barrel rises up from the ground and moves over and then settles back there.
Oh, very well done. And he'll clap.
Is in the water here.
Oh,
It's in the water, the air, and the earth. But you are quick to be able to channel this.
No, it's just water.
oh, in the barrel?
No. And he points towards the river.
Oh, like you can feel it in the water? And he'll look into his drink. He's like, did you use that water in this?
Why, yes. It's magic beer.
Oh,
Can't you tell?
I just thought it tasted really nice.
I'm already through the first one. So maybe a second will get us the subtle flavors.
Okay. And he pulls another one for you. Yes, this river magic is why we make here.
Ah, I thought it was just so it was convenient.
He looks around and he says, we are 2 days from other people. What is convenient?
Well, given that you have like the water to use to power to like grind like wheat and stuff, so you can make like beers
Yes.
and other things.
The whole milling process in general.
He just kind of blinks at you and says, no.
Oh, so who built this place? Like, did you hire people? Did you build it yourselves? Was it just here?
I built, obvious.
Oh. How well built does this place look?
Pretty good. It's done with care. It's all dressed stone. There's no gaps and there's no mortar.
Oh,
Most impressive.
well, it's very well done indeed.
I know.
Compared to Durkheim and their stonework, was this like pretty solid?
I mean, yeah,
Like Sykes,
Durkheim
Sykes
like-
like Durkheim is like almost the pinnacle of like what people can achieve here with like their solid stonework. And
I
I
like
mean,
to
here
think that
you
is
see
wrong.
two men. Durkheim has thousands of orcs.
right,
So it's not on the industrial scale, but it's well done.
yeah.
Sorry, I had a child situation. I was gone for 10
Oh
minutes.
god.
Well, hopefully situation resolved.
Yes. The dog barked and scared her, so I had to
Oh.
talk to him.
Well, speaking
So
of
you're at a mill and apparently a brewery with a very
Unique?
blunt ESL brewer.
What
with
else?
magic water.
What else is new? Oh, magic water.
Yeah.
He says there is
Uh,
magic in the water.
Kind sir, have you talked with any of the locals in the area?
What local?
The native peoples.
Ew.
So you haven't talked to them or traded any alcohol with them for goods that they produce?
Prefer trade magic.
Oh. Okay.
What would you give for magic that could be traded?
Well, we use magic, send rock at very fast speed.
Is that so?
Do you line a bunch of you up and then just pass it from one to the other?
We've heard such a rumor that it could yield fantastical results.
That sounds
Yep.
stupid. Do you not understand physics?
Well, with magic, physics can be an illusion, from my understanding.
How
Yeah,
is
what-
standing in line make magic?
Well, you know, when Gildor
Multiplier
explained it, I
force.
didn't quite understand it either, but
Yeah,
it seems
yeah, that
fascinating.
magical researcher like brought it up, and he was also stumped. But it seems like you have a handle of it.
You want more beer sour?
Yeah, sure.
He goes around filling all of your tankards again. My friend Lan also magic from water.
Oh, does he have same magic?
Klan steps forward and then goes invisible before your eyes. And then you feel a weird chill in your body, and he appears on the other side of you.
Oh, that was odd. I imagine that's been very useful.
I may have some technique to show you. If you can
Sykes
help
is. Sorry, go ahead. I apologize.
me. Well, I would be interested in this movement one. And I have some channeling technique that I can offer or show.
No.
Cool.
Where do you go after this?
While they're kind of like conversing in there, and Sykes has like heard them, 2 or 3 times talk about the magic water. He's gonna go, if he can, like out on that dock there, that little pier,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of just like feel the water, smell the water, gather what he can of his regular primal senses about the water, and if everything kind of checks out, maybe take a little sip.
Do you have any special abilities for this primal instinct?
Sure do not. It's just his
Okay.
gut.
Just checking.
Nope. Nope. It's just him like magic. Like, he doesn't know a lot about magic. He's like thinks it's like the fact that he was even able to like use it, period, in whatever way. He's like a little interested at this point, and he's like, they keep talking about magic water. He's like, if this water is magical, and he just saw that guy disappear and come back, maybe there's something in the water. And
Could you
As
roll
long
a
as-
d20
Yeah.
for me, please?
yeah. Oh, that goodness. Did I get inspiration? Did I get? You know what? I'm gonna let this roll.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let this.
You
roll.
did get inspiration.
Yeah. I'm gonna let this roll.
You don't want to use it?
Might be a good time.
You're asking me that. Yeah, I'm gonna use it. Yes. It's much more closer to center there, and I like that.
Can you roll a d6 for me?
This is where we find out that Spike is petrified for 6 days.
You get D6 new turn or spells.
As you drink the water, you feel first your throat and then like your esophagus and your stomach go very cold, kind of like brain freeze but working downwards. And then the brain freeze begins to set in as you take a deep breath and you just see a cloud of frost come out of your mouth. And then you feel this tingle running all through your body as you have a cold spell stored inside you. You have 24 hours to use it or it will expire.
Okay. So the one use of cold spell is cold an actual spell that I can.
You don't know what spell it is,
Okay,
just that
okay.
it is a.
Did
I
the
have
water
some-
he drank come out of the stream? Like, is this the source of the water? Is it just running through the? Or
Yeah, I literally
from
just
the
walked
river,
over
yeah.
to the. Yeah, I literally just walked over to the dock.
how clean is this brewery? Is it pretty clean, or the floor's clean, or is this a disgusting mess of a
This
place?
is this is very clean. It's very small, but very clean.
Okay,
These seem like very efficient people.
I'm impressed. Chuck is impressed with the cleanliness of this place. There are a few places where I could probably polish it up, but it's still very
You
impressive.
go to like
Still
look for
pretty
them
good.
because you're like, it's good. I bet I could clean it, and then you go and look, and you're like, oh no.
I don't have to really
clean.
look for it. Like Chuck has he can just look at a place and say, okay, well that's not going to be clean and that's not going to be clean. I don't have to search for it, but I'm
Okay.
still very impressed by it.
My point is, in this one, those spots are actually clean. So like your instinctive places are actually quite spotless through here. So, where do you go next? You are go to conquer more place and make like old home?
No, not Taunter. We're looking for some people who might need help, and he'll sigh, and possibly murder people.
Is what you do, no?
Or he'll sigh, and he'll be like, still not how I put it, but it is what we are best at.
So you lie.
I never lie.
You do not put things how they are.
Oh, we like to dress up the words to make us feel morally in the right.
He looks
Otherwise,
at you and
it's
he
just
says,
bad.
how is not lie?
Solaren, you know, perhaps you can teach him a thing or two about a justified killing and murder.
You give more words to disguise what you do?
No,
And Harkin's
not
just
at
trying to
all.
like
He-
try to get away.
He is not talking with right intent. Right now we are in search of one who was stolen from their home. That was unjustifiably kidnapped. We look to find these individuals, find out why they committed this thing, and return this person to her home.
Aha! It is good thing that you are lie that you do.
No, like you said, we do not lie. If people prevent us from bringing this person back to those who care about them, we may have to kill them. It is not what we are forethought in our minds, but it is inevitability of this world.
Accident murder is not murder?
No, it is. Well, if you are going by murder specifically is a legal definition in the jurisdiction that you are speaking of. If you're going by kill, yes, we will kill those who have unjustifiably taken those away from their families.
Sykes, so you had ale in the wineskin. Are you just dumping it out on the ground?
Yeah, pretty much.
He
He-
could drink it.
It's alcohol abuse.
Yeah, well, you guys saw Durkheim. You saw how Sykes, like gets on with life. He partakes, but, he felt something really strange with this stuff. So, yeah, he kind of, like, dumps out the wineskin, and he, like, rinses it a couple times. He's going to fill up the water skin that was full of wine with the water in this ring.
Okay. Well, I wish you luck on your accident murder lie campaign. And hope you save the one whose fault is not.
And we appreciate it, especially for the crossing of this river here.
You what?
We appreciate if you let us cross
Ah,
as well.
of course, but must pay for beer first.
Oh, sure. What do we owe?
15 gold.
I mean, I guess
You
we
know,
all
that-
did have
that-
some.
That microbrew life, you know. Take
Yep.
it. Take it out of the party fund.
What can I say? They've been spoiled selling to hipsters who will pay anything.
Yeah. But were we like, what time of day is it? Are we trying to short rest here? Or are we trying to long rest here?
It
What
was like
the-
11 a.m. You haven't really
Okay.
expended resource, so I'd say like the brief time that you're sitting there and drinking would be enough of a rest.
Cool. Nice little breather. Philosophical conversation.
Then as you prepare to set off after having some delicious, expensive sour beers, I think we can take a short break there and then come back in a few minutes and resume.
Hell yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. Back in a
Cool.
know that Chuck's doing it.
Like, he sees Sykes doing it, and he's like, that's odd, but maybe he's on to something.
Is it flammable?
Is fracking going on here?
That would be nuts. It's like, Sykes just drank diesel. He's like, oh, this is, ugh. Kind of gives me a little bit of a, like, the cold feeling was really just because it was like a very, like, super numb feeling. But really, it was just like,
Antifreeze goes down cold when you drink it.
I can't speak to experience on that, so I'll take your word for it.
I'm just bullshitting. I
Not,
don't know.
not that I could.
Sounds like it would be possible.
Yeah, not that I can speak to drinking diesel because I haven't done that either. But
I'd just
Oh,
like to
none of us
imagine Chuck being like a squib who's drinking the water, really hoping he like becomes magical.
I mean, that's kind of what Sykes initially did. He's like, that dude just disappeared. There's something in the water here. I'm gonna find out what that something is. But it makes sense that if these guys have been here for you know, probably almost half a year, it seems like, building this pretty great place. They've consumed a lot more of the water than Sykes just did, so they've probably developed some serious effects from it. This is where the six-legged creatures come from. They all drink water from this river.
Oh yeah, the Methier is traveling with you right now.
Oh, he's a good buddy.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you saw the comic corner. I think this scene is like super awesome with the actual like movement and graphics like that.
Thanks. I really love those scenes. There's a content creator that I support that does a lot of these.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
So, as you go setting off, I wish there was like temporary folders for tokens, so I could just have the entire current party with Laka and Jansen and everyone, and then drag and drop them onto other ones.
That would be nice, yeah. So the floater file between the maps.
Yeah. There must be some way to do it. As you set off again, crossing the bridge, the brewers are just kind of like waving and saying goodbye as you hear them call, "Goodbye, liars! Goodbye, murderers! Hope you do well."
Will it lying or will it murdering? There were
He's
some-
shouting it, he doesn't hear you.
Yeah. Well, there was more of like a under their breath, like kind of inner monologue.
These are the weirdest ones I've ever met from your kind. Or I guess not any. I look around to the rest of the party. Well, I guess nobody's come. Maybe the Azor? Are these normally like the people from your old empire?
The warden doesn't respond, as he doesn't seem to appreciate the implication. But
Not quite as fun when it's maladies put against your kind, is it? It's okay, I jest.
he completely doesn't even respond to sights. As
It's like
you
sh-
cross,
backgrounds.
As you cross the river, the terrain quickly changes as you see dense forest up ahead. Almost jungle-like terrain as you're going down into something of a valley with a thick, cold fog hanging in it. We will have to cross this forest to make it towards Tirith Nor. I don't know what your kind calls this forest, but it's not a pleasant place.
The great forest of fuck this place.
That's what we call it too.
Ours is very similar, but when you say it in our language, it flows off the tongue a little better, but same sentiment.
How is everyone at seeing in the dark? Once we get deeper into the forest, the foliage will obstruct the light.
I don't
Harkin will-
actually see in the dark. It's more of just a shade of gray.
I wasn't asking about your morality.
What's morality?
Exactly.
I think it's a type of mushroom.
Well, I can make out pretty well in the dark.
All
Harkin will
of
be
us are
like,
pretty
I'm
good.
completely blind.
Really?
Then let's make sure he has a torch. I don't want him to be tripping.
And not because of the morality mushrooms. He means physically tripping. We have 10
don't
torches in
have
the
any
party.
to give him.
We have 10 torches in the party inventory.
Ah, perfect. Last time they made me just walk around in the dark.
Well, there were other things that were happening, but I do agree that it was not appropriate that we did that.
But it was quite funny.
I have to agree.
As you start to venture into the forest, it starts usual with the light coming through the green leaves, the healthy foliage beneath, fine trees standing tall, but after about an hour of trekking through it, everything grows darker as the cold, moist air kind of just creates an almost claustrophobic feeling. Everything goes to a dark gray-green in color. There's much more rot to the place as the leaves are all decomposed and giving off a stench to it. Fallen logs are all broken down as well. And everything has a much more gnarled feeling to it. The Methir is continuing to kind of trudge along, given Chuck's friendly ambivalence to it. It seems rather interested. And as you're moving through here, let's see. Harkin, are you holding the torch?
You would be, yes.
Let me turn on torchlight for you then. This way. Follow along and keep careful watch. Suddenly, the warden pauses and holds up a hand, and he kneels down and he puts his hand on the ground and closes his eyes and he says, "The ground is shaking."
Tread lightly. Keep the torch toward the back.
About 10 seconds later, all of you begin to feel a very faint rumble underfoot.
Eat worms.
A second later, you can see the ground bulge up in front, right in front of the warden and near Solarn, and then it erupts as a large creature pokes its head up from the ground, leaping forward. And as it does, just here, erupts a spout of flames out of the hole it just came out of.
Magma tunnelers.
As
Oh,
it
no.
leaps through the air, it is flying straight at Harkin, as I will need a dex or strength saving throw from Harkin as it takes you by surprise with that leap there.
That was alright. Not bad, not bad. He's like, fuck, I don't know how to use a torch. He's like trying to light it. Finally gets it lit, and then it's like the yeet worm's face is like right there. He's like, oh shit!
As it
Turn it off.
slams onto the ground, Harkin takes bludgeoning and slashing damage equal to 7 as you just roll out of the way from the brunt of the damage of this creature landing here.
Yes. Let us kill it.
Lavas is the first to respond, being on the edge of the light, trying to avoid it at all costs. And does not have advantage. But he is invisible. Oh! That is a great shot, though. 2 great shots. Oops. Ignore that. Sykes.
Psych is going to. I have to read this real. I gotta understand this feature specifically. It's the bonus action help that I get. Is it?
You have to be within 5 feet of the creature to give help for advantage on the next attack against it.
Yeah, for this though, it's different because it's okay. It's the master.
Oh,
tactics.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I just want to know: does the person have to be next to the creature, or is it just anyone within 30 feet I can give help to on their attack?
No, you just help the person. They just have to be within 30 feet.
Okay. A little bit of measuring real quick. So, it's quite a bit of people within 30 feet here.
I have to ask, how did Kelvin get hurt?
Maybe they've just been. They were limping when we first met him, so maybe they've.
Yeah,
kind of
Okay.
they were. Sorry, I
like,
thought you meant recently. I was like, I didn't deal anything recently.
No, I just noticed like they had a.
Yeah, you know, they were not in great shape already.
Okay, that's understandable.
Okay. Let's see. All right.
Y'all just didn't care to ask.
I know. Like,
No
I feel
Doritos
bad.
for
Sykes
you.
is like. Well, Sykes will move in front of the billet, and he's gonna rip off this. He's gonna rip off this magic that he's got in front of him. This cold energy that he feels coursing through his body on the billet. For the
So
Evendawn.
you didn't entirely know what to expect, but you do unleash it as it inadvertently takes Solarin in the blast range.
You son of a bitch.
I do apologize. I do apologize.
As Solarin will need to give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I'm good at those, supposedly.
That is good, as you succeed and only take 21 cold damage.
Oh, good. Only 21. Excellent.
It also takes 21.
Okay.
As you blast a cone of cold unwittingly into the bullet and into Solarin. Which I think is reasonable because you expect to unleash it, you don't realize it's a 60-foot cone, and you're just like,
No.
oh, that went a lot further than I thought.
Yeah, especially because like the first initial thing was more like a little burp that he let out, and it was just like this little fog ice that just like lingered within, probably 10 feet of him. Oh.
As you unleash that, there is a crackling of sparkles emitted around you in all directions as wow, that's a thing.
Sorry, Harkin.
As you hit it, there is a pulse of these sparkles that go off, and then suddenly, in a most confusing reaction, most of you disappear.
Huh.
Okay. Well, this is a very confusing reaction. Is the light still there? The torchlight?
Yes, it
Or
is.
is that just okay? So I at least kind of know where Harkin's at, unless he's just like. Okay.
The torchlight is there. You do not see the torch, though.
Yeah. Okay, so light's there. I'm assuming that was an action to tear that off. Okay. All right. I am going to. Let me see. Can I see Chuck? I know I'm invisible, but can I see Chuck?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Then I am gonna move back, say 15 feet, and I'm gonna use my bonus action now to give Chuck the help action.
Mighty nice of you.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on right now. I just froze.
Can you do it as a bonus action?
That's
Cool.
yeah, it kind of like builds on the cunning action feature,
Just
and
check.
yeah, it's the master of tactics.
Koei is going to be like, what the fuck? Guys? You did not just leave me here with Chuck and Goody Two Shoes. And a big scary animal.
What are you talking about?
Koei cannot see the big scary animal and is going to go over here and concentrate on a held spell. You hear the voice of the warden as he goes, "Guys, where did you go?" As flames are still spewing out of this hole in the ground. To the north, Kelvin suddenly pops into view, hands outstretched, holding, as you can see, an orb of fire in one hand that they've not released. From over here, you hear someone trip and the clatter of metal, and then a grunt and a curse. What does Chuck do?
So Chuck can hear all this, right? So he just
Yes.
knows these people are invisible. He is going to sit down on the ground or on this root or a log or whatever, and he's just going to hold his action until they reappear.
What will you do with your action once they reappear?
I will. It's a good question. I'll attack when I'll attack the bullet. You know.
Okay. So unfortunately, this worked out in the bullet's favor as it has tremor sense.
Oh, so it felt me and heard me move? Oh.
It is able to bite out at Harkin and clobber him. And then it begins burrowing down as it creates another hole. As it disappears, more flames go spewing up from the hole that it just burrowed. Lauren.
Would those like held actions be able to rip off in that time that he
Yes.
took his?
Go ahead. Chuck, your held action as well?
Yes. Let's see. I don't like. Chuck doesn't like harming animals, but he's going to have to. And I will burn a Kai point.
That initial attack would come with advantage. I don't know if that.
I mean, I hit anyway.
Okay.
Just a regular hit.
And then I will go back and move back to. Oh shit! If I move, he's gonna have an attack of opportunity.
No, because you have the mobile feat, which means if you attack a creature, it does not get attacks of opportunity against you.
Cool. I did not know that. Thank you. And I'll get back
Okay.
here and I'll just go stand on the root.
What does Solarin do?
This guy went. Lauren is just going to. Look. Well, I can't look at Sykes because he's invisible now. Just go. Fucking orc. I'm gonna cast.
Oh, the true colors bleed, I see.
Just gonna cast a light from above. Only 4.
Your resentment is understandable, but the remark still stings.
To heal yourself?
Yep. Because I've been hit a bunch, and I'm just gonna spend a 1 light die, and I'm gonna heat myself.
As you become visible as well.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's it for me.
Jansen kind of cracks his neck and he says, "Trouble's afoot, and it seems to be game time." And he comes charging forward and trips on Harkin's body as he's running towards the hole. And he's just like, as Harkin is still invisible. And then he just like feels around and he says, "Ah, there you are, friend." And heals Harkin for 10 HP.
Oh. Why do you get me?
Seeing Jansen trip, Laka feels around and finds you and casts a 2nd level cure wounds on you as well. Harkin.
Thank you.
We have some
Perfect.
really nice NPCs. As much as we've given them grief.
God, the neon
I
blood
haven't
splatter.
noticed.
So I just the first thing Harkin's gonna do is he's gonna stand back up. I assume the creature's invisible.
It's underground.
Underground. Okay. And I was down, so he might not have a full understanding of where it is. So he's gonna hold an action.
Well, there's a new tunnel spewing fire in front of you.
Oh, yeah, definitely don't move away from that. He's gonna move 10 feet this way. And
Got a regular
then,
hellmouth.
yeah. And he'll hold his action to cast. Actually, I don't think there's anything I can use on the creature. I don't think any of these spells work on a... It doesn't need to understand, right? It just needs to get the intent for Vicious Mockery.
Yeah. No, it doesn't
I'll-
have to understand you for Vicious Mockery.
Okay. Then he'll hold an action to cast Vicious Mockery when it appears.
It doesn't need to understand you, it can just tell that you fart in its general direction.
Yeah.
But you do need to have clear line of sight to it, so you're holding that?
He is.
Okay. As you hold it, you become visible.
Yay.
Lock it.
Oh goodness! Harkin, are you okay? You
No.
look hideous.
That's awfully rude.
Well, you usually don't look hideous, but you do look
Beep.
hideous now.
Koei calls out, "That's an upgrade from what you were."
Wow.
Chicks dig scars. So I've been told.
So I'm just holding my
So
action.
just cover the rest of yourself with scars and you'll be good.
There's fire over there if you'd like to. Well,
No.
there's fire.
Jansen, seeing Harkin, goes, "Are you alright? You okay? Do you need to lie down? Should I get a poultice for you or something? Or are you okay while I go try to kill this thing?" He's saying this to Harkin.
Oh, sorry. I had my mic up, so you didn't catch me. But he's just trying to give like a weak thumbs up. He's like, "I'm good." Just hit it as hard as you can.
He gives a smile and he says, "You're doing great. I'm really proud of you. Just hold on a little longer." Sykes.
Sykes. Is going to. Sykes is not gonna. Sykes won't move. He's gonna give his bonus action help to Chuck again. And then he's gonna ready his action. This time, if he sees it, he's gonna chuck that dagger at it. Like, he's gonna use the dagger to attack, whether it's like... So he's gonna get ready. If it's in his face, I guess melee. If not, throw. If he can see the bullet, or the yeet. We don't even know if it's that actual yeet worm, do we? Did it match the description?
It's
Call
not,
it for
it's
a
not
brief
very
second.
worm-like.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So, the creature.
So
yeah.
Lauren, what do you do?
I'm just gonna ready a firebolt.
Harkin. Probably has his mic off.
I do. Sorry. He's gonna move closer to Koei. And then
Not
hold,
enough scars yet.
yeah. You only wish, Koei. And he'll hold vicious
More
mockery
than you
again.
know.
I mean, have you seen
Laka's
Justin?
ready. As the bullet pops back up, triggering a crap ton of held actions.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Is the
Mhm.
is the dagger with the parenthesis the one that's augmented? There's a dagger in my inventory that's got a parenthesis.
Yeah, give me a second.
Okay.
Do I have some kind of like negative effect on me or something?
You should
Or did I
have.
just roll twice? Just really
just-
shitty rolls.
You should have
rolled a 2 and a
advantage.
4. On
Oh,
the
yeah.
first attack. So that's the first attack. Go ahead and attack one more time.
No. I rolled 2. I rolled.
Yes, but the first one should have been with advantage. So the 8 and the 10 is your first roll. There we go.
All right, I will take it. And then I don't know what's up with him. It's just one of those days.
You don't get your whole turn. Just get a couple attacks.
It's okay.
Who else is falling one? Is it just Harkin left?
Yes.
Did it?
Is it?
Oh, I had it as blind because I was going to do the death save.
It's okay.
Did he hit?
Yes, he failed.
So
He is going to bite at Sykes with disadvantage.
Well, I didn't do the attack yet for the because I was asking like which of the daggers was the pummeled one.
Oh yeah, you were holding.
Go ahead, but he is gonna do it anyways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I don't get. Yeah, I guess he knows where I'm at with the tremor
Ooh,
sense.
everybody's rolling
He
shit.
does. But
Ooh.
that vicious mockery does help, as he misses as well.
Yes. That's because his carapace is very dull.
Oh shit.
As Jansen runs forward and raises his warhammer aloft. You fucked with my friends, and that's a mistake.
Anson or Palatar?
Jensen says that.
Oh,
Yeah, the turn order shows Palikar.
Yeah, but Jansen had a held action also.
Oh,
Oh,
he
yeah.
did.
Of course he's gonna get the fun.
You don't know how bad I wanted that more than him. Oh.
I'm never gonna hear the end of it now.
I know.
As
Ugh.
he clobbers that thing with a nice, hefty swing. At that moment, though, as he clobbers him, there is a cracking of wood as this root here splits open, and stepping out of it appears a dark, thorny figure. Oh, that should be with advantage. Still a miss, as a Ryam swats at Kelvin from out of the tree branch. Koei goes, murder tree, we've got a murder tree. Oh, never mind, she can't see. No dark vision. Jansen is going to be the hero then again. As the Rhyme takes a swat at the tiefling, who grunts in pain from the blow. It is their turn. As they turn to look at this dark, evil tree, and raises their hand and unleashes a spout of fire into its face. Sight.
Dagger in hand. That thing still spouting fire?
The holes are still spouting fire, yes.
Okay. So avoiding that. He's gonna move in this direction instead. And he's gonna throw this pummeled dagger at it. I don't get advantage, but I can't, if I hit, I can do the sneak attack. Is that how that goes?
Correct, because Kelvin's and Jansen are next.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Large
Your
hit,
dagger
of
goes
course.
whistling off into the darkness.
Oh my goodness. Damn it, Jansen. If
And
you
then
wouldn't have had your big head in the way, perhaps I'd have...
And then there is a loud boom! And Sykes takes 6 damage.
And then I'll bonus action. I'm not within distance here, man. I could still move, I guess. No, I'm gonna still give the bonus action help to Chuck.
So Laura.
Excellent. Gonna wander over this way. Look at this shadow-covered dryad, and he's like, "You are made of wood, are you not?" I'm gonna pull my axe, strike down.
As soon as you say that, Jansen says, "If you just give me the axe, then I can handle it."
Let me show you how a real elf handles a shaft. I just grab my axe and split it.
As you hit it for, let me make sure the damage roll did correctly. Yeah, you hit for 20 damage there. That was a hefty hit. Anything else for Solarin?
I don't think I have any bonus actions. No. Or I do have focus beam, but
Nowhere to shoot it.
Yeah, there's nothing else around, at least that I can see. So I'm done.
Correct. As another root cracks open, and then just behind Laka, you see another towering ram branch-like creature strike from behind. Laka very faintly is, "Ugh, I'm badly hurt." And from
I'm badly
range,
hurt.
calls down a sacred flame on top of it, which does no damage. Chuck. You have advantage on that swing. That's a regular hit. As the bullet's dead, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Who are we
he's dead,
fighting
Jim.
now?
corpse. Yeah.
This, I mean, if you want to keep bashing the crap out of it, go ahead.
What the fuck is that thing?
This is like a deathly tree-like figure. If you hover over the token, you can see the image.
It's not working. Oh well, I'll take your word for it. Fuck you, tree.
This thingy.
Oh, it's one of those things.
Yeah. As you smack it once, anything with your bonus action?
Yeah, I'll spend a key point and do an unarmed strike. And then I will end my turn.
If you spend a key point, you get 2 punches.
Gotcha.
With a bonus action, you can do one unarmed strike for free. Using a key point means you can do 2.
Okay, well I missed the second one.
As you hear a screech in the branches above, you hear a call that you recognize as you see running across a high branch.
It
20
was
feet
not
in the
because
air.
of the dagger, okay?
You can see a Fazhook bounding across the branches up in the air.
Oh no.
I hate these damn things.
Why did you wake them up with your dagger, Sykes?
It wasn't the dagger. It was Jensen's obnoxious yelling about how he's giving your axe the wood. I don't know.
Jansen just like pauses and turns and looks, and he's like, "Brother, you cut me to the quick." Like, you did not need to throw him under the bus after he was so kind and supportive to Harkin. Harkin.
Let's see. I see the ram. And these are the same creatures that we fought before when we saved Talatar, right? The second time?
Yeah.
So does it appear to be humanoid?
You would not think it is a humanoid, no.
Okay.
You haven't tested that theory, but you would not guess so.
Just because he's not sure, he'll try anyways, and he'll try to use kind of madness on it.
Oh. It seems unaffected by your spell.
No. Harkin will turn to Kobe and be like, "You gotta hit it real hard."
There's more screeches as another Fazuk comes bounding across these branches here. As Lavas is watching these things and hating them. That should have been with advantage. There we go. The archers are doing everything they can to bring them down before they engage. As one Fazuk gets hit and plops to the ground dead. Sight.
Let's see. They're all. Let's see. It was just two Fazhooks, or
There
well, from what
were
I can
two.
see,
One's just died.
yeah. From what I can see, I don't think I could see the other one. I don't think it's in my field of vision. But what is this Ryam here? I guess I threw the one dagger. I'll throw my second dagger at this, as it would take a whole action to switch to my bow, correct?
No. As long as you're not holding a shield, it would not.
I am holding a shield.
Well, then yes, it would take an action.
Yeah, like I had a shield in one hand and
Yeah.
then one
Yeah.
singular dagger in the other.
Okay.
So, like, you know, I think I could probably draw a
Throw
dagger off the belt
that
and throw.
Dagger.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Throw dagger.
There we go.
I'm gonna add my sneak attack damage to that.
Yep.
I think that's all I can add for now, and then my bonus action. Let's see. Who is within 30 feet of me right now? Man, Solarn, you're always like outside of the range. Chuck, it is. Chuck's getting another advantage.
Then Fazhook comes running, screeching over, and then slashes with its claws once and twice. And then they both disappear in a puff of smoke and shadow.
Oh no, not the warden. Oh no. Yeah.
As they reappear with the warden dangling in its clutches 30 feet in the air over here.
I don't think I'm seeing the over here, but I don't think I'm supposed to if I can't see it.
Well, yeah, if you
In
can't
that
see
direction.
it.
Yeah, if I can't see it, then I can't see it.
For kingdom and glory! Calls out Jansen. As an invisible Palikar calls out, "Ha! Too late!" And clobbers this ram on his own.
Ooh, just thefted that kill.
Yes, completely on his own. I'd rather go to Palikar at this point, though.
that's Jansen asking that. Solarin.
Where's the other one? Where did the monkey take him?
Monkey saw, monkey did.
Move over that way, but I don't see nothing, so I'm just gonna be confused.
That's a free action.
Excellent. Solarin is confused.
Chuck.
Hurts himself in the
Okay.
So this Rhyme is dead. You hear shouts from over this way, like gargling, gagged shouts.
Okay.
You were with us when we fought him the first time, right? So he would kind of know what these things can do.
Mhm.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Oh yeah, I can't make it all the way over there. I guess I'll just have to wait till next turn.
You've got a bonus action run if you want to.
Yeah, but
Up to you.
I'll just cautiously come over here to see what I heard.
With your chill 55 feet of movement.
Yeah, with my... It's just a little jog.
Hearken. Might be on mute.
Yeah. I'm having a moment. So I can't see them, but can I hear where they might
Yes.
be? Okay. If I remember correctly, there's some way this way.
You're hearing it over this way up in the air.
You were like, well, it's going to take me a while to run over there, so I'm just going to stay here and hold an action to, if anything comes within range, I'll hit it with my rapier.
Kelvin holds both hands up as beams of fire build up and says, "Someone get me a light and I'll end it."
I feel sorely about the fact that I didn't realize that Calvin, being a fire mage,
Where'd you
Calvin
fuck you
being
come from?
a measurement of heat.
The Phasma comes screeching as it runs down the roots over here and hacks at Solarin once and twice, but misses both. Oops.
No.
As it comes running, Solarin is like, "Oh, son of a bitch!" and shoots their scorching rays at this Phasma here. Koei is just ranking high. Doesn't have much to do though. Lavas fires off his bow and takes care of the Fozhook that was attacking Solarin. The other one releases the Warden. And then with a whoosh, appears right next to Sykes.
It's a terrible whoosh. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing to make him try to save against. Does that mean that I made it?
You did make it,
Ooh.
and it missed with the second attack. Hard.
Jeez.
Let's see. Because he's close enough, he's gonna come up and hit. Is that a rapier? It is. Swing his rapier. And then he'll use Psychic Blades to add a bit more damage.
Nice.
Nice, very nice, yes.
And I believe that's everything he can... Actually, yep, that'll be everything he can do.
Kelvin flings a chaos bolt that goes sailing over and almost smacks into Sykes.
Those are
And he surges again.
yeah.
Oh wow.
Mm.
Alright, I don't know what that means.
Well, it's table, right?
Unfortunately,
I didn't like
nothing
that.
happens.
Oh, unfortunately.
As arcs of lightning shoot up from around him in all directions and strikes the ground but doesn't hit anything.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Unfortunately, like he doesn't attack the creature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Palikar comes over and says, "Tilda for the win again!"
Man, he's really calling these shots.
As Palikar carries the party there.
He is the greatest hero of our time.
He is not the hero we need,
Oops.
but the hero we deserve.
I don't think we deserve a hero this good.
As silence falls on the ground, slowly the flames splutter out, and Jansen and Palikar look around and say, "What has happened to the warden?"
He is most
Chuck?
likely here.
My recollection,
They only
me.
drop themselves from. They can only go so far when they capture their prey.
I heard something coming from the southeast over there.
He is this way.
Care to look? As Sykes is gonna go like retrieve his daggers. It's probably gonna take a little bit for him to find the other one.
Yeah.
And find it, but I think he could probably find this one pretty easy, right?
You do eventually find both since you're not under a clock.
Okay. I was like, I would, if I found them both, that'd be great. If I only found one, that'd be understandable. If I found none of them, I would be sad. But that is how it goes.
I'll use one light die. Hit the warden.
As you call down the light, you find that the warden is in fact dead. As he
This one
rolled
is
a
beyond
1
my
and an
ken.
8 for his death saves.
Well,
Sykes kicks the corpse of the Fazhook next to him.
And as you've beaten off the assault but found the warden dead, is where we'll end for tonight.
Oh no.
As the rest of you did fine. Like, that was easy.
Yeah, for the most part, it's pretty.
Yeah. Other than the bullet at the very beginning, which just like wailed into
Even
me.
that went down pretty quick.
It went down they hit hard, but you took it down in like a turn and a half.
Yeah. And not much else happened other than the warden. Like, some people took some hits, but
Very little though.
Probably the most damage to this because that Fazhook got a hold of me right at the tail end there.
Oh yeah, it did land a critical hit on you.
But
it didn't grab you,
like-
so
yeah, I was like, thankfully I made the darn strength check. My strength is very mid, basic. It's not typical of an orc. So when I saw the strength save, I was like, I'm dusted right now.
It would have started splitting you if it could.
It was great. I hate that Jansen got that kill on that bullet. Like, one more round, and I think Sykes could have pulled one out. Oh, for Jansen to get that.
Jansen is very confused as to why you hate him so much.
It's not that he hates him. He just wants to show that there's another side or a different way to do things.
It's just too sexy.
Which
Cannot be held.
I guess, like, yeah, yeah, exactly. We're two blades. We're two edges of the same blade. Two different
There we
edges
go.
on the same
Yeah.
blade. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, two sides of a gold coin.
There you go. You know. I think we're both
Alright.
generally good at what we do. He does it his way, and I think I could do it my way. I don't know.
All right, guys. I'll be in touch with information about the Eve of Ruin campaign soon. For anyone
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
interested. But for everyone else, have a very good night.
You too,
Yeah,
man.
thanks very much. It
And
was
we'll
super
see you
fun.
guys later.
See ya.
Night.